Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for the 1st of November, getting set for some weather changes. Midweek rain, much colder by the end of this week. Let's see if we can dig up some details here. First off, the Skycam shots around the network this afternoon. Pretty good looking scene there coming from Cullman. That's Lake Katoma. Looks like the lake level is fairly low because of the dry spell we have seen here in recent months, but the sky is mostly sunny. That's the Skycam at Hamilton High School getting set for the playoffs this Friday night. And by golly, you're going to need a big old heavy jacket. Many of the stadiums could be in the 30s for those ball games. And from Demopolis, looking right down the Tom Bigby, is seen from the Skycam on top of the Demopolis Civic Center on a partially sunny, pretty comfortable afternoon. You can see the trough coming at us from the west. That's digging down through the Texas Panhandle. That will be spinning up an upper-level low west of the state, and exactly where that sets up will determine how much rain we see, and quite frankly, even at this stage of the game, there is some degree of uncertainty here. Temperatures looking pretty good. The numbers range there from 73 at Cullman and Gadsden to 79 in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, but more than likely this will be the warmest day of the week as the numbers begin to trend downward tomorrow. And around the nation, you can see pretty cold up north. Up in New England, readings only in the 30s and 40s, and pretty comfortable down here. But by Wednesday, we might have a hard time getting out of the 50s all day. Now, the QPF chart, this is somewhat of a challenge. This is the guys at HPC that put this together. And this is suggesting rainfall amounts of about 1 inch from Birmingham south, rainfall amounts of 1/2 inch for northwest Alabama. Heavier totals over Mississippi and Louisiana, especially the southern half of Louisiana. But there's not a lot of agreement here. Look at the RPM QPF. This is valid through 72 hours, and this is suggesting basically nothing for the northern and eastern part of Alabama, with rain for west and southwest Alabama and points west, and that's it. Now, that seems to be an outlier. We'll still mention a pretty good chance of rain at times tomorrow night and Wednesday, but again, the amount of rain is up for debate. And we'll check the GFS here in a moment. Quick look at the tropics. This is Tomas, tropical storm that just not doing very well. Down there in the Caribbean, it's fighting a lot of harsh winds aloft. The top winds are down to 45 miles an hour. It's a minimal tropical storm. There's the latest track. The guys do bring it up to hurricane strength, a Category 1 hurricane, coming across Haiti during the day Friday. And then ramping out quickly northeast out to sea ahead of that big trough in the east. It should not impact the United States at all, but again, for the missionaries and interest in Hispaniola, both Haiti and the Dominican Republic, that certainly bears watching this week. The good news, it doesn't look like it's going to be a monstrous hurricane, but any flooding issues or wind issues in a country like that in this state after the earthquake certainly is a serious situation. So our friends there will be watching that. By the way, there's the GFS QPF chart as we get into this. Thought I'd show you that before we go into specific modeling here. And again, it really agrees with the RPM in that it's got the heaviest rain over parts of southwest Alabama back to the west with very little for the Tennessee Valley. So we'll see. This is valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at 500 millibars. This is the 12Z run. Upper low developing over southeast Texas. Down below that, rain to the west of the state, creeping in here, and we'll mention a chance of rain arriving tomorrow afternoon. Here's Wednesday. This latest run here, the GFS has the upper low on the Texas coastal plain around Galveston. And accordingly, the best rain off to the west and southwest. It's got some rain here, but not much. And then Thursday, big trough forms over the east. That's going to pick up the upper low and scoot it northeast. And we're beginning to see cold air advection on Thursday with a north breeze beginning to kick in. The GFS has us in the 60s on Thursday, 64 the high. And then on Friday, here comes the cold air. Come on now. The trough axis a little farther east on this run. 540 line all the way down to Birmingham and Montgomery and Columbus, Georgia. Strong north winds. And again, we could stay in the 40s much of the day, although this run being a little farther east might suggest we nudge up toward the low 50s. But whatever, it's going to be a breezy and very chilly day, but a sunny day. And then Saturday, starting off the weekend, a good chance we'll see the first widespread freeze of the season with lows down in the low 30s, 20s likely for the colder spots. Bright sunshine throughout the day Saturday, and Sunday, same deal. A cold start, readings around freezing, will wind up in the 60s Sunday afternoon. And Monday of next week, weather looks dry, and you can see Tomas kicking out to sea well to the east of the United States. Check the end of the forecast on the 17th of November. Pretty interesting battle. Got that warm 588 ridge over the Bahamas and a very cold trough over Canada, the eastern part of Canada. And you can see the battleground there between very cold air to the north and warm air over Florida. If this were January, you'd think maybe some kind of ice storm with that. Very shallow cold air creeping in here, but it's not. It's mid-November. But still, that's an interesting look out there. But the good news, we don't see any sign of any major severe weather issues on out there through mid-month. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening. ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.